Welcome to the deep dive. Ever stop to think about, well, the literal ground beneath our feet when we're in a hospital?
Probably not something most people focus on.
Exactly. But the flooring in healthcare facilities, it's actually a bit of an unsung hero. It's absolutely critical for, everything from hygiene to patient safety.
Mm,
So today we're taking a deep dive into the healthcare and hospital flooring market. It's this segmented infrastructure that's often overlooked,
definitely flies under the radar.
but as you'll soon discover, it's a multi-billion-dollar powerhouse. Some really fascinating dynamics going on there.
Yeah.
Our mission today is basically to unpack its impressive growth. We want to show you how these seemingly mundane surfaces are actually right at the forefront of global health advancements. We've got some incredibly detailed market research to work with.
And if we just sort of set the stage with the overall global picture, what's striking isn't just the sheer scale of this market, but how consistent its trajectory is. So back in 2021, the global healthcare and hospital flooring market generated nearly $9.5 billion in revenue.
Wow, $9.5 billion.
Yeah, it's a huge figure for something so foundational, right? And it's driven by very tangible factors. Growing healthcare investments worldwide,
Right.
and also increasingly rigorous regulatory and hygiene requirements that are, well, they're simply non-negotiable in medical settings these days.
Okay, let's unpack those numbers a bit more then, because the projections, that's where it really gets compelling. From that nearly $9.5 billion in 2021, this market is expected to, well, surge. By 2025, we're looking at close to $11.9 billion.
Right around the corner.
And then by 2033, it's anticipated to hit almost $18.7 billion.
Quite a jump.
Now, that represents a compound annual growth rate, or CER, of about 5.8%. So when we talk about a CER like that, it means the market isn't just growing.
It's compounding.
Exactly. It's consistently expanding by nearly 6% year after year, building on itself. It's pretty robust growth.
And what's genuinely fascinating about this strong upward trend is that it's more than just impressive statistics on a page.
Right.
It really reflects a global shift towards upgrading healthcare infrastructure, a real commitment, you could say, to improving patient outcomes.
How so?
Well, a lot of this growth, for example, it's linked to a rising demand for specialized materials, things like seamless antimicrobial flooring.
Okay.
These weren't necessarily standard maybe a decade ago, but now they're becoming essential. Think about evolving infection control protocols.
Especially post-pandemic, I imagine.
Exactly. It just highlights how vital even the most, behind-the-scenes elements are for delivering cutting-edge care.
So given that global commitment, which regions are leading the charge here? If we transition to the regional leaders, North America, it's absolutely at the forefront.
Yeah, leading the pack.
In 2021, this region alone brought in roughly $3.75 billion in sales revenue.
Significant chunk of the global total.
Yeah. And looking ahead, that's projected to grow significantly. We're talking over $7 billion by 2033.
Wow.
Maintaining a solid CGR of around 5.4%. So it's a clear indicator of, robust continuous investment.
And within North America, the United States plays a truly dominant role. No surprise there, perhaps.
Right.
Its market was valued at a substantial $3.07 billion in 2021.
Okay.
And that's projected to reach nearly $3.8 billion by 2025, and eventually hitting almost $5.7 billion by 2033.
So still growing strong.
Yeah, with a CAGR of just over 5.2%. And like you said earlier, this isn't just about building brand new facilities. It's also very much about upgrading existing ones, getting them up to meet these higher standards of safety and sanitation.
And Canada isn't far behind, right?
Yeah.
Showing some really strong momentum.
That's right.
Their market is expected to jump from just over $360 million in 2021 to nearly $747 million by 2033.
Quite a leap.
Supported by a healthy CAGR of nearly 6.2%. That's actually higher than the U.S. CAGR.
Interesting. Yeah, slightly faster pace there.
And Mexico is also expanding, going from about $315 million to over $600 million, with a solid 5.5, maybe 5.6% CAGR.
So yeah, you see a picture of pretty comprehensive investment across the entire continent. That's what's driving that overall North American growth figure.
Okay, let's shift focus. Across the pond, Europe, how's it looking there? Also demonstrating very steady momentum, it seems.
Very much so. The region's revenue stood at just over $2 billion in 2021.
Okay.
And the expected growth. It's reaching almost 3.8 billion by 2033.
So nearly doubling over that period.
Pretty much, which translates to a solid CAGR of approximately 5.4%. Very similar to North America's overall rate, actually.
Interesting. And if we pinpoint some key European contributors?
Well, the United Kingdom, for instance, is projected to rise from about $292 million in 2021 to over $560 million by 2033. That's growing at a 5.7% CAGR.
Okay.
Germany shows even stronger momentum, increasing from nearly $400 million up to almost $800 million.
Doubling again.
Yeah, reflecting a robust 6% CAGR there. So Germany is a key driver.
What about France and Italy?
France is also on a healthy upward trend, growing from about 300 million to over 520 million, though the CAGR is slightly lower, around 4.8, almost 4.9%.
Okay.
And Italy is expanding too, from about 180 million to over 320 million. Their CAGR is just under 5%.
So solid growth across the major economies.
Exactly. And what's noteworthy is that this positive market sentiment isn't just isolated to a few big players.
Right. You mentioned broadening the view.
Yeah, when you look at countries like Spain, they've got a 5.6% TAGR predicted, and Sweden around 5.5, 5.6% too.
So it really signals a broad, consistent commitment to healthcare infrastructure across the European continent.
Precisely. It's not just about, shiny new hospitals. It's about ensuring these crucial facilities are equipped with the best, most resilient, and safest materials available, flooring being a key part of that foundation.
Okay, now, here's where you said it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
The Asia-Pacific region, APAC.
Ah, yes, the growth engine.
That's what the data suggests. It's rapidly expanding, boasting the highest regional KGR globally. We're talking just over 6.7%.
Which is significantly higher than Europe or North America.
Yeah. To put that into perspective, APAC contributed almost $2.45 billion in 2021. And that's forecasted to more than double, rising to over $5.3 billion by 2033.
That's massive expansion. And within APAC, China leads the way in, sheer volume.
Right.
Its market is projected to grow from roughly $854 million to nearly $1.9 billion. That's at a very strong 6.9% CAGR, almost 7%.
Nearly 7%. Why? But you mentioned India stands out.
Yeah, India is really remarkable here. It stands out with the highest regional growth pace. It boasts an explosive, maybe explosive strong, but a very high 7.7% CAGR.
7.7%.
Yeah, jumping from just under $300 million in 2021 to over $720 million by 2033.
That kind of acceleration is incredible. And if we connect this to the broader picture.
It makes perfect sense.
Right. You consider the rapid urbanization happening there, rising populations, and just massive construction and modernization of healthcare facilities.
Absolutely. And it's not just China and India. Look at other key areas like Singapore. That's expanding at a 7.1% CAGR.
Cool.
And the wider Southeast Asia region, over 7.4% CAGR.
So this isn't just statistical growth on paper.
Not at all. It's a tangible reflection. You're seeing new clinics pop up, expanded hospital wings, upgraded facilities becoming safer and more functional for literally millions of people. It's a real boom driven by a profound need.
Okay, let's keep moving. What about other emerging opportunities? South America.
South America's healthcare flooring market is also significantly on the rise. It's projected to more than double, from about $520 million in 2021 to over $1 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR of about 6.1, 6.2%.
So still very healthy growth. Who's leading there?
Brazil stands out as the region's largest market. Their CAGR is around 6%, but Argentina is actually one of the fastest growing, clocking in at over 6.6% CAGR.
Interesting dynamic there, too. Okay. And the Middle East.
Transitioning to the Middle East, we see similar robust growth patterns. Their market was around $454 million in 2021.
Got it.
And it's anticipated to reach over $918 million by 2033. So again, roughly doubling. The TAGR there is about 6% overall.
And key players.
Saudi Arabia leads with a 6.1% CAGR. The UAE and Turkey show really solid momentum too, at nearly 6.7% and 6.4% respectively.
And that reflects, what, big infrastructure projects?
Yeah, it really reflects the region's ambitious healthcare infrastructure projects that you hear about. And underpinning that is the rising demand for these hygiene-centric, durable flooring solutions to support them. They go hand in hand.
Right. Okay, finally, let's round out our global tour. Africa.
Africa is expected to grow from about $284 million in 2021 to over $570 million by 2033.
Okay, still doubling, roughly.
Yep, maintaining a solid CAGR of 5.3%.
And specific countries to watch.
Countries like Nigeria, they're expanding at a 5.6% CAGR, and South Africa is climbing at nearly 6%, about 5.9%.
So that's revealing significant emerging opportunities, even in what are often, underserved healthcare markets.
Exactly. It's a clear signal that this vital investment in something as basic as flooring, it's truly a global phenomenon. It's happening everywhere.
So if we try and connect all of this, pull it together, the bigger picture.
Yeah, if we connect all this to the bigger picture, what we're really seeing is a consistent worldwide investment in demand. And it's in a foundational, yet, like we said, often invisible aspect of healthcare environments.
Right.
The data from North America, Europe, APAC, South America, the Middle East, and Africa, it all points to the same powerful trend: robust, sustained growth.
It's quite striking how consistent it is across regions,
Yeah.
even with different CGRs.
It is, and it underlines that flooring isn't just about, aesthetics or even just basic durability anymore. It plays this critical, active role in infection control, patient safety, staff safety too, and the long-term functionality of these vital institutions. I mean, just think about the sheer foot traffic in a hospital.
Const.
Nurses, doctors, patients, visitors, all day, every day, rolling equipment. That's why this isn't just about statistics. It's really about building resilient, safer healthcare spaces from the ground up.
So what does this all mean for you, listening to this?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
Well, it means that this seemingly niche market, it reflects a truly global commitment to elevating healthcare standards. Every one of those billions of dollars we talked about, every percentage point of growth,
Mm-hmm.
it contributes directly to better patient safety, enhanced hygiene protocols, and just the overall functionality of medical facilities worldwide.
It really does.
It shows how even the smallest, most granular details, like the floor you walk on in a hospital, are part of this much larger global effort to elevate the quality of healthcare for everyone. It's truly the unsung hero, literally underfoot.
Well,
So we've just taken this pretty fascinating journey through the global healthcare flooring market, revealed a surprising scale, I think, and some really detailed growth in a sector you probably never thought much about until now.
which I think raises an important question as we wrap up.
Okay.
Given these substantial, consistent investments in something as, well, fundamental as hospital flooring, what does this tell us about the evolving definition of essential infrastructure in global health? And maybe more deeply, how does this invisible market indirectly shape the future of patient care? Something to think about.
Hey there, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into something you probably, well, never really think about, but it's absolutely everywhere in modern healthcare: hospital flooring. Trust me, it's way more than just what's underfoot. How does something we literally walk all over, something so often overlooked, become one of the most critical, high-tech, and often challenging elements in designing modern healthcare spaces?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question because, while the floor might seem like just a simple structural thing or maybe an aesthetic choice, in medical settings, it actually plays this foundational role. It's key for maintaining really stringent hygiene, ensuring patient and staff safety, and even optimizing the day-to-day operations. It's far more complex and strategically important than just picking something that looks good or lasts a long time.
Right. And our deep dive today, it's based on insights from a pretty comprehensive market research report focused specifically on this market. So our mission is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, maybe some surprising facts, to quickly make you, our listener, incredibly well-informed on this often understated yet totally vital area. Prepare to have your assumptions about flooring. Well, floored. So, okay, what's truly propelling this seemingly quiet industry forward? Is it what you might expect, or maybe something less obvious driving the growth?
Well, one of the absolute primary forces driving growth is, without a doubt, the intense focus on infection control and hygiene. You mentioned, a world still really grappling with recent global health events, and that vigilance has only amplified the need for just hypercleanliness in hospitals and clinics. What's truly fascinating, I think, is how specific flooring solutions are engineered directly for this. They aren't just like antibacterial in a passive way. Many are actually infused with technologies, think silver nanoparticles or photocatalytic compounds, that can actively neutralize bacteria and viruses on contact and for extended periods. It basically turns the floor into this continuous self-cleaning defense mechanism.
Wow, self-cleaning.
Yeah, and they're also seamless, meaning absolutely no grout lines where pathogens can hide. And that significantly improves how effective cleaning protocols are. It prevents the growth of biofilms, especially in those high-risk areas like ICUs and operating theaters. It really shifts the whole paradigm from just reacting with cleaning to proactive prevention.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, a seamless active surface. That fundamentally changes the game for infection control. So, okay, moving from that sort of microscopic battle to the bigger picture, the macroeconomic view, what else is fueling this market?
Another huge factor is just the sheer boom in healthcare infrastructure development globally. We're seeing massive investment and expansion, everything from new mega hospitals rising in big cities to brand new diagnostic centers and specialty clinics popping up in rural areas and emerging regions too.
Right, so it's both public and private money flowing in.
Exactly. Both government initiatives often aiming to expand healthcare access and the private sector responding to growing demand. They're both driving this. And this expansion, it directly fuels the need for high-performance flooring. New builds require flooring that's durable, low maintenance, and yes, visually appealing right from day one. It's become a critical part of the initial design checklist, and the long-term performance plan for these new facilities. It's definitely not an afterthought anymore.
Okay, and how do these materials actually impact the people inside these facilities? Because it's not just about the building itself, is it? I mean, I could only imagine the kind of stress nurses must feel walking miles a day on potentially concrete hard floors, or the vulnerability of elderly patients maybe in rehab units.
Exactly right. And we're seeing a significant push now for ergonomic and slip-resistant surfaces, directly addressing those human factors. There's a rising demand for materials that are not just slip-resistant, which is often achieved through specialized textures or adding certain aggregates, but also cushioned, to reduce fatigue and impact for staff who might be on their feet for 12-hour shifts.
That's huge.
It is. And crucially, acoustically quiet materials are vital now, too. Using sound-absorbing layers helps contribute to a more healing, less stressful environment for patients. Think about someone recovering from surgery or patients dealing with sensory sensitivities. Quiet matters.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so despite all this impressive growth and innovation, it sounds like it's not all smooth sailing. This market faces some real hurdles. You mentioned high-performance materials. I assume they come with a higher price tag up front, reflecting that better functionality and longevity?
Yes, absolutely. The initial investment can be pretty substantial, and that becomes a real barrier, particularly for, say, public hospitals operating on really tight budgets or maybe smaller private clinics. This higher cost often reflects the advanced engineering, the superior durability, those specialized features that definitely provide long-term benefits in hygiene and safety, no question. But that upfront cost, combined with the ongoing costs of routine maintenance needed for some systems, can certainly slow down adoption of these advanced flooring solutions, especially in regions where budgets are extremely constrained.
And if that wasn't enough to deal with, just navigating the sheer volume of regulations in this space must be another significant hurdle, right? What kind of standards are we talking about here? It sounds complex.
Yeah. Oh, it is. That's a really critical point. Hospital flooring isn't just any old surface. It has to meet incredibly rigorous global standards. These include international benchmarks like ISO for quality and environmental management, ASTM standards for material performance, or ADA requirements in the U.S. ensuring accessibility and slip resistance. Those are particularly critical for patient safety and preventing falls.
Of course.
And while these standards are absolutely vital, I mean, they ensure safety and quality, they also really complicate the manufacturing and procurement processes. It often leads to increased lead times and reduces flexibility for both the vendors selling the flooring and the hospitals buying it. It's a necessary complexity, but, well, it's still complex.
Yeah, I can see that. And then there's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
How do you even upgrade flooring in a hospital that literally never sleeps?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine the logistical nightmare of trying to replace or upgrade flooring in a facility that's still fully operational.
It's a massive headache. Think of it like, I don't know, trying to change the tires on a car while it's still driving down the highway at full speed.
Right. Not ideal.
Not at all. For a critical care unit needing new flooring, that means potentially relocating very fragile patients, shutting down vital equipment, and meticulously managing dust and noise to prevent contamination. It often leads to weeks of operational disruption and, frankly, significant revenue loss for the hospital. These operational concerns can severely disrupt critical services, and often they just delay or even completely deter necessary renovation plans, even when the need for updated flooring is clear.
So they just put it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's why many hospitals simply delay crucial upgrades until they absolutely positively can't anymore.
Okay. Yet, Amidst these pretty significant challenges, there are exciting trends emerging that are really reshaping the future of hospital flooring. We're seeing, for example, a surge in demand for eco-friendly and sustainable materials. Hospitals are increasingly aiming for green certifications like LE.
Yes, and what's genuinely exciting here is the adoption of low VOC, that's volatile organic compound materials. Non-toxic, recyclable flooring solutions are becoming much more common. These materials contribute directly to better indoor air quality, which is so crucial for vulnerable patients, and they reduce the hospital's environmental footprint. Sustainability isn't just a niche consideration anymore, it's becoming a primary purchasing priority. Especially you see it in newly constructed healthcare facilities where the design brief often includes ambitious environmental goals. They're recognizing the long-term health benefits and the financial ones too.
That's great to hear. Another fascinating trend you touched on is the customization and branding of flooring designs. It's adding this whole new aesthetic dimension beyond just pure function. How are hospitals actually using this?
Hospitals are really getting creative with this. They're using color-coded floor zones, not just because it looks good, but to actually improve navigation for patients and visitors. It makes complex hospital layouts much easier to understand.
Oh, like wayfinding.
Exactly, wayfinding. And this enhances the overall patient experience. It can even reinforce the hospital's institutional branding, creating a distinct identity. And in specific settings, like maybe pediatric wards or geriatric units, you'll see custom textures, really calming colors, even thematic patterns, all explicitly designed to create welcoming and soothing environments. The goal is to reduce anxiety and make these spaces feel less clinical, more supportive.
That makes a huge difference, I bet. And perhaps the most, I don't know, transformative trend is this integration of antimicrobial and even self-disinfecting technologies right into the flooring itself. That sounds almost futuristic.
It really is revolutionary stuff. Flooring manufacturers are now embedding specific agents, like advanced silver ion technology or titanium dioxide coatings, that use ambient light or even moisture in the air to continuously break down microbial cell walls. It effectively turns the floor into a passive 247 sterilizer.
Wow.
Yeah, this innovation has gained tremendous momentum, especially in post-pandemic design strategies. It's becoming a cornerstone of infection preventative architecture in healthcare now. It's a real game changer for maintaining sterility and reducing the burden on cleaning staff, too.
So to kind of wrap this all up, what we've unpacked today really shows that the healthcare and hospital flooring market is undergoing this, well, quiet but incredibly powerful transformation. It's genuinely surprising how much thought and advanced technology goes into something we rarely even notice under our feet. It's truly no longer just about what lies beneath us. It's about patient safety, staff comfort, cutting-edge technology, and environmental sustainability. That really reframes how I think about hospital environments now.
Absolutely. And this transformation, it isn't just about new products rolling out. It's actually influencing how healthcare spaces are fundamentally designed, how they're built, and how they're maintained for the future. It impacts everything from patient outcomes to operational efficiency, and yeah, even the financial health of the institutions themselves.
It's incredible to think about, isn't it? How something as fundamental as the floor beneath our feet can be this silent guardian of our health and an active player in the future of medical care. So what started as maybe a simple question about what's underfoot has truly revealed this silent strategic battlefield for patient safety and well-being. What stands out to you now, knowing the hidden power beneath your feet the next time you're in a clinic or hospital? Something to think about.